there's another social media poll, and this poll is asking, when and how should we teach our children about activism? Now, at what age and how should parents teach their children about being active and standing up for what they believe? And, when I think about the Black Lives Matter movement, there's so many kids who look like us, Blue and Damage, who are sitting at home watching this movement take place and not only want to be a part of it, but there was recently something that happened online that we posted on Hollywood Unlocked that had me kind of giggling. This black 9-year-old boy in Vacaville convinced his entire class to walk out and protest against their school's officials because they decided to take chocolate milk off the menu. Now, look, I thought that was petty as hell, but I was like, look at my little Malcolm over there, being a little Black
Okay.
Panther for the black milk. Do you think he was wrong for that?
I don't think he was wrong for protesting. You better do it. That's freedom of speech. But I will say, as a parent, I have a 9-year-old, and just in passing, I don't know what made me say the phrase. I was saying Black Lives Matter. He said, "No, Daddy, all lives matter." And I said,
Oh,
"Hell no, son. It's time to have a conversation." So I think around
mm-mm.
8, 9 years old, it's that beginning conversation. You need to talk about race and activism, because I had to let them know, just because we're advocating for who we are and our skin color, because we're the ones that get done wrong, doesn't mean this is indictment or us attacking another race. I had to really explain that to him, because we're going to school out here in Burbank. He's around a lot of different cultures, but I got to let him know our culture does matter, because our culture is the most attacked. And I had to really get that through to his head. And I don't think he's fully understood it yet, but I think it's a good time to start that conversation. And my son is 9. So I think around 8 and 9, it's a good time to start really talking about activism and race, and letting your child understand who he is and where he stands in the world.
Yeah, I with my godson and all of my baby cousins that I helped raise, I started like around 5 or 6, because a lot of times when we think about activism, we think about the big ticket items. We don't think about how you socialize. By the time a child is 5 years old, it's already learning from the kids in the school, like being black is not as great as being white, or hey, I want to look like Susie because she has blonde hair and I have short kinky hair. Kids start understanding their value very early, and race plays a very heavy role in it. I know so many little black girls growing up who thought they were ugly because they didn't have any hang time because their hair grew upwards instead of downwards. And so it doesn't have to be just activism as far as talking about police brutality. Just talking about how valid and beautiful it is to be black is a form of activism that I think I'm going to start with my kids as early as they are able to talk and be cognizant and understand, because anti-blackness sometimes is in the way the world makes you see yourself. And I want my kid to look in the mirror and see the right thing.
Well, the district chef and culinary manager in this case, Richie Willem, says that the cut of the chocolate milk was due to milk's high sugar content. But when meeting with the group of students, the 9-year-old leader, Jordan Reed, argued that offering regular milk causes his classmates to drink less milk, leading to increased waste and students getting fewer calcium and vitamin D nutrients. I don't know who this kid is, but
I
this kid,
love him.
he's a little
Yeah, man.
badass. Now you talk about Black Future Month. This is Black Future right here, where we got leaders like this stepping up. You know, and I'll tell you right now, I look forward to chocolate milk days. When I was going to public school, I look forward to chocolate milk days, and the white milk just did not taste the same. So sorry.
That's one of the first things we actually bonded about, Jason, when I read your book. And I was like, Jason and I have way too much in common with our messed up childhoods. And then you start talking about your love of chocolate milk. I was like, damn, he was drinking the chocolate milk too. I will say though that you have to tell your kids when they're wrong for being activists. Because and this is a real story, I got in trouble in the first grade because I went and told everybody that milk came from daddies and not from cows, because I had found one of my dad's pornos. And I got in trouble. So context is actually important. It was the first time I ever got detention because I saw a porno and I thought it was milk. And
For the first time, I would say there's some things we
so yeah,
shouldn't share on the show, but whatever, it is uncensored. Well, listen,
context matters.
shout out to this little 9-year-old, because after he did this whole standoff, he actually won, and now chocolate milk, they get chocolate milk one day of the week. And he released a statement via his publicist. Jordan said, quote, "I felt good about it. I brought back something that everybody wanted." I
Come
mean,
on.
I need a picture of this kid standing in DC where Martin Luther King did the I believe I have a dream speech. All
I
right.
love